Hello, my powerful posse, and welcome back to Purple RX. It's Renata, your friendly and resourceful PharmD, here to help you navigate this health and wellness world with all this information and all the things that are going on so that you can find out what works for you. Because not everything is for you and you aren't for everything, and that's okay. That just means choose wisely. So there has been so much going on with this pandemic. There is so much going on. I'm not doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. We're throwing that out the window. I'm here to talk to my healthcare people, my people in those fields or in fields that are being affected right now. There is so much going on. Now there's vaccine mandates. So those people that have sat there and worked tirelessly, that were probably already burnt out before this pandemic or at the beginning of the pandemic, because boop, I was one of them, that was already put in giving their all to this and trying to raise a family or build something else or do something in another way, or even just be a doctor and be the best doctor, nurse, administrator, healthcare professional, whatever it is that they can be. And I know with this mandate, a lot of y'all in New York and other regions are like, now y'all are really forcing, and after a year that we have worked in this environment, a year that we have sat here and treated these patients when it was at its worst, because in the beginning, any virus, any situation, any pandemic, it's going to be at its worst because we don't know what's going on. We don't know how it's going to act. We don't know where it's going to go. But these people have worked in this for a year, maybe even a little bit, almost more than a year. It would probably be 2 years in December that some of these people have worked in this environment, because a lot of cases really started in December and moved in January and February. It really just started to grow. So a lot of these people have been working in this environment for a long time. And something that we've learned in healthcare is, yes, you want to push to get a vaccine. Yes, you want to push to get certain things, especially if you have not been exposed to it. But most of these people, if you have worked in this environment for a year and a half, or you've been out in the public and not been caught up in your house, you have been exposed. You have probably contacted or contracted it in some way once or another. And a lot of these people are saying no because they've been through this virus. They've been through this whole Corona COVID thing. And why do I need a vaccine? Especially when I have been in the environment, been up against these things, but studies have shown the robustness of natural immunity. Nobody, and we're not saying, yes, go out there, beg, look for it. Who's got Corona? Kiss me. Nobody's asking for that. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that's what you should go out there and do. But these people that have been in this environment and risked their lives, risked their own family, risked their own situations, and have seen that I am taking this, and they've also seen the side effects of people coming in, or the side effects in the VAERS, or things that they've seen that are so out of pocket from people who have taken the vaccine. And most people in the medical profession would know vaccines usually take 10, 12 years to develop. There's a few years for the actual vaccine and a few years for the study. So it's about a half and half split, maybe a little bit more for the vaccine, but it's let's try this out, let's go back. Let's try this out, let's go back. Let's try this on animals and mice, let's go back. So it takes time, and get it. The mRNA was easier. There's a whole lot more to see with this, just like there's a whole lot more to see and understand from this disease. And to put something out and rush somebody to say, you have to do this, but you've already been exposed to it, so your body has enough robust immunity to fight it, and even maybe fight another variant. And they are now putting people into positions to say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, because you're forcing everybody, saying you have to, and I'm mandating that you have to get a vaccine. So people that have already been exposed or already had this virus, or have already been through the rhetoric, now are having to get a vaccine again. And then they'll have to do it another 6 months and another 6 months. And I am not here to say this vaccine is not bad. People out there, 65, all those people that aren't exposed, that are at home, that have weak immune systems, go get it. That have not been exposed to this vaccine, this virus at all, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it, because it is necessary, and it probably will boost something that you haven't had. But people that have already had a boost, there was even a study in Cleveland where people are going to say, it's not peer reviewed yet. You know how many of these studies aren't peer reviewed yet, but they love to use them for their information? A lot of these studies aren't peer reviewed, but from an observational study in Cleveland, over 500 nurses, it showed that people who had been exposed to it and had it had just the same protection as those that have had the virus and had one booster shot. It is so understanding that a lot of y'all are not wanting to be in this situation, not wanting to be forced to do something again or go through something or deal with side effects that you don't know exactly which group it's going to affect, because we still haven't gotten into that. Who's really going to get myocarditis? Who's really going to have these thrombocytopenias? Who's really going to have this heavy bleeding or these clots? Who is really going to be exposed to it? We don't know. It's better to say in other meds because we can say, okay, this group of people is more likely to have thrombocytopenia. That's a lot of times what studies help us to do. And we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't had that understanding. So to those people who are quitting, who are saying, I'm not going through this, I feel you, I'm here for you. This is going to be hard, but you can do this. You can transition to healthcare and giving the care that people need in another way. Don't think you're boxed in. Don't think this is the end of your life. Don't think that you have to do healthcare in one way, or you have to do healthcare the way they say or the way it looks. Because you're a nurse, you have to do it in this way. You have gotten so much information in healthcare, you can now expand that. You can expand that in care for older adults and doing maybe of private care, or doing informationals or building centers in different ways. There are so many other options. This online thing, that's one avenue. Don't think that you are stuck or you are in a bad place. This just may be a time that you have to pivot and find out what really in your heart is where you want to be. What really in your heart is where you want to be and how you want to express yourself in the world. Because it may not be healthcare. You may take healthcare and use it in a different way. You may build your own facility. You may take healthcare and the things that you have learned now and change healthcare through in a governmental way or in some kind of political way or somewhere, some other avenue, but taking that and using it in a way that we need. We need those out here. Our healthcare system has to change. That'll be a whole nother video to tell you how it has to change, but it has to change. It can't keep going on like this. If you pay attention, things are deduced to numbers. Everything is deduced to numbers. If we have this many numbers, it's going to work. But we don't know that. That is just a guesstimate. They're taking away the actual debates and actual talks of looking at how the body acts and reacts, how populations act and react, how things maybe worked for a certain population, but not a full population, how other things in conjunction with a jab, vaccine, whatever, in conjunction with that will work. Because they love to say everything is misinformation, but there's also still half information that they're putting out. Why isn't the government, why isn't anybody putting out commercials reminding people, eat healthy, eat this? You can't do that. You know why they probably don't do that? Because in every area, you don't offer healthy food. You apply food desert. You put those things in that area and you put more clinics and more corner stores and things that don't allow people to have accessible healthy food or healthy options, but you want them to eat right and just say it for speech's sake. Just say I say it. I tell people that they need to eat right. I tell people that all the time. But do you know what life they're living? Do you know after you tell somebody, do you know what they can do? Do you know what they have access to? Do you know their understanding of that? That is a part of giving treatment. A part of getting treatment is not just saying, you need to go do this. It's, do you know how to do this? Do you understand what that entails? Do you understand how this can change your life? Do you understand how that looks? Do you have access in that area? Oh, if you don't, there's options, because there are options. Maybe somebody, if they have an EBT, you might be able to get fresh groceries from Amazon Fresh. You might be able to do things like that. Whole Foods. You might be able to get delivery services, but nobody's spitting that out. Nobody's telling people that don't have access, this is what is needed and this is what is necessary. So don't let this push, don't let this push that politics is making in healthcare change your mind about what you're here to do. Change your mind about how you're here to do it. Change your mind about what you're here to give, because you could still give that message in a different way. You could still affect and change your community in a different way, because you have the knowledge and know about the body and know about what's going on. Don't let this whole political chess play take away what you feel is really important. If healthcare is where you want to be, if you want to be somewhere else, this is your opportunity to go there. If you want to do something else, this is your opportunity to take it. For all those that stood up for saying, I don't want to take this vaccine because maybe I've had COVID, or I've had this, or I've been through that, or I've experienced it, which most of the people that are in healthcare have most likely experienced it or come into contact with it. and have ended up testing positive in some way or at some time. And if you have, don't let this whole political game take you out. For those that stood up, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because this is hard. This is a hard situation. But I know you feel you're standing up for something that is important to you, for something that you know. And for those people that aren't in healthcare that are seeing this, ask yourself these questions. Why are these mass amounts of people ready to quit or be fired? Why are they ready to do that? What is going on, or what is somebody not telling us that this is showing these mass amounts of people wanting to quit an industry, wanting to not just do a governmental ban? It's not because they think coronavirus doesn't exist. They've worked in it. It's not because they don't think that this vaccine is bad and this, that, and this. It's because there's a lot that we don't know about this new thing. This is a new drug. When a new drug comes in, a lot of people don't know. So not a lot of people are up to putting it out very quick, or anything that's new, that's on the market, that is going to affect your body. Ask yourself, why are all these people quitting? Why are all these people willing to quit? What's really going on? It's not just because, people aren't sitting here and being like, there's nanobots. There might be. Or they're not here saying that there's saying this big conspiracy theory. It's just showing you facts. And showing you point blank that something is not right in the way they're pushing this. Something is not right in the way that they see this going on, because of what we're used to in healthcare, or because of what we've seen in healthcare, or because of how we've seen drugs come out and vaccines come out, and how long things take and the process it takes to get there and to get at efficacy. So those people who aren't in the industry or who are dealing with this, it's not everybody's having a conspiracy theory, or everybody doesn't believe the science, or everybody doesn't believe what the government is saying, or this, that. It's not even about that. There is a lot of things that aren't being said. There's a lot of information that's not being pushed here in the States. They're not sitting here pushing and talking about natural immunity and talking about somebody who catches it and how robust their system is and robust their immunity is going to be. Because think about it, when you're taking a vaccine, they're doing nothing but trying to push your natural immunity forward. But if I've already been exposed to the actual virus, and not just something that was mimicked to act like the virus or to be like it just a little bit, that's like me being exposed to the real thing is going to be a whole lot better than me being exposed to some fake shit that looks like it. I mean, come on. You're going to get the real picture of what it is. Your body's going to get the real picture of it. Natural immunity has been the gold standard, and now they're acting like it doesn't exist here, or they don't want to hear about it. And it's only one way or the other. So this fight isn't a fight because government says this, because there is a missing picture in this whole situation. We already knew healthcare had to change, but this is already telling you that we really have to change how we see healthcare, and how the actions we take in healthcare, and how we present healthcare to the people, and show what real healthcare is, because this is not real healthcare. This has been deduced to numbers and showing this is right and this is wrong. And healthcare is not this is right and this is wrong. Healthcare has never been that. Healthcare has never been that, because not everything is going to work for everybody. That's what I talk about here. Everything is not for you, and you aren't for everything, because everything is not going to fit. You don't fit in a box. Your personality doesn't fit in a box. So damn sure your body and your DNA is not going to fit in a box and say, check, 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 check. We've made all the check marks, so you should be good. It's not going to be that way. And it's not going to exhibit that way and come out that way. So you're not going to be able to do that. You can't put it like that. And that's how they've deduced it. They've put us in a box and deduced it that this works for this only works for that. And minimizing us to that. And you can't minimize the human body to that. There are so many new diseases and new things going on. They've minimized things and said, this is going to work and this, just like so many doctors are out there. When you catch corona, they're out there giving Z-Packs. This is a virus. Why are we putting out antibacterials? Which puts us in a place of more virulent strains of bacteria, because you're trying to give people something that fights a bacterial infection they don't have, or they may have. We're putting it into a place of not really treating and looking at the person, but hoping we catch something in there. We're going to give you a few things and hope we catch it. We hope we catch it and prevent it. That's not a thing. That's not how it's practiced. That's not how it should be practiced. And we're deducing it to this small check in the box. We've checked all the boxes, so we're good. If you say something outside of the box, if you bring something forth outside of the box, we don't know what to do, or we don't know how to do it, or that's wrong, or we're going to gaslight you, and that's no longer what it should be. But again, that's another video. Back to my people who are seeing this mass amount of people leaving jobs, no longer wanting to do certain things, and then government turning their backs on the people that had they back Healthcare workers, you had our backs in this time. This was a rough time for you. And to say, if you don't get this, you can no longer work or we'll no longer pay you. What? How crazy does that sound? Now in New York, the National Guard is going to do it. And I'm not saying some of the National Guard aren't doctors or aren't healthcare professionals, but it's going to be a different beast. And a different beast is in it's going to be even more check boxes and quick, effective, trying to do this, and this. So we have to really look at this picture because a lot of things in this picture are not making sense. Conspiracy theories or not, there's a lot in this picture. When you look at this full picture, it's not making sense. That doesn't make sense. Somebody that's worked in this for almost 2 years is now being turned on because they don't want to do something their way when there isn't just one way to combat viruses or sicknesses. There's never been just one way. There's never been one way. There have been multiple ways. Promoting real healthcare, allowing people to really have better mental health, better physical health, better health in how they're deciding to pick their food and the options they have and where they can go get it. But no. That's not what we're going to do. That's not what we're going to promote. But that is a big part of this. That is a big part of what's going on. And now it's trickled down to children and they're using children as a picture and trying to capture people's mind like, oh, this happened to the baby. And I am not saying it should happen to the baby. When you try to pull at people's heartstrings or try to use children or use other images to make your point, that's a bit of manipulation. No, that is manipulation, not a bit. That's manipulation. And there's a lot of manipulation going on here, gaslighting. Instead of, let's just put out real facts of what we have and what we can do and let people decide from there. And stop saying, oh, because you were unvaccinated, you did this. No. How does that work? You know how many unvaccinated people there are in the flu? I have to be vaccinated in the flu. But that doesn't mean it prevents me from giving it to you. That doesn't mean it prevents me from getting it. And it's going to protect me. And because you didn't, that does not what that means. It gives me some form of protection and some form of memory for my body to say, okay, I've experienced this. I know what's going to go down. And I know how it's going to go down. That's all it is. All a vaccine is a plan for your body to say, all right, I know what this sucker look like. So it's almost like if somebody came in your house and robbed you. If your neighbor knew the person and said, so-and-so was coming over to rob you, and you already know, you already prepared, that means you can come out guns a-blazing. You can come out with your little weapons or be prepared or move your family over here, do this, do that. That's basically what a vaccine is. Prepare your body for what may come, or what's going to come. You don't know. So we have to, for those people that are quitting, those people that are taking a stand, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. At times I thought I was alone because there wasn't many people that were doing it or seeing things my way. But for those that have to do what they have to do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Don't do it because other things and think you're on the wrong or right side. There is no exact wrong or right side of this thing. There is a thing of, there's a lot of things that just need to change. And people need to respect each side. Me getting it to keep a job or do whatever, do what you gotta do. Me standing up for something that's important to me, do what you gotta do. Everybody should be able to have their say, have their point, and be protected in their own way and in their own place. And stop trying to point the finger and place the blame, because that is not helping us get anywhere or see what is the true issue and how can we fix the true issue. We're not doing that. We're just saying this is the real answer. When, come on, let's really talk about it. Let's really look at what they say the true answer is and how effective it is and what's really going on with that. Look at studies in other countries and don't say, well, they're in another country. They're using the same drugs. They're using the same ingredients, they're getting it from us. A lot of them are getting it from us. A lot of them who are at higher rates are having issues with those higher rates. So let's not be deduced to a number. Let's not be deduced to say one side is right or one side is wrong. That is getting old. That is getting old. Nobody knows the exact answer, but it's going to take more than one thing. It's going to take multiple things to get in the right direction. This thing is going to be here for a while and forever, though, because the way we started to run at it, it already told you it's going to be here. It's going to be here to stay for a while. And we have to respect that and learn to work within it and learn to understand how can we be most effective and what do we really need to be promoting. Because if somebody doesn't want to do it this way, you have to have other options. If you're talking about true healthcare, you have to have other ways or telling them where you can meet them at and try to meet them there. But telling people there's only one way and only meeting them in that way and not giving other true options that are important for that way to fully work too, it's not helpful. It is not helpful. Just a quick little message for my people who are about to make choices that can change their lives. totally change their lives. It's okay. Breathe. It's going to feel good at the beginning because you're standing in the power that you have felt in this. And it is great to stand in your power. But no, the journey is not going to be easy. No, trying to get where you need to be, trying to change some things. It's going to be rough in these streets. It's going to be hard. You're going to have a hard time getting to where you need to be or where you want to be or trying to figure out. It's going to feel cathartic. It's going to feel great because you've released and let go of some things, or you're ready to change some things and you're ready to make that change. And that's great. Make that change. But no, it's going to be hard because there's going to be a lot of things that need to fall away because you've decided to, you not just decided to change your life, you decided to change your mindset and change where the trajectory of your life can now go. So now God is saying, okay, you ready to do the work? I got some work for you to do. So that means there's some things that you've already probably been through, and then he's probably already been working in you. You're going to get some more, and you can do it. You can handle it. You got this. So I hope this message finds you in a way that is peaceful, hopeful, and loving, and you get what you need out of it. You know I'm here to talk about anything. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please put a comment in there. I'm down to have any conversation about anything in this healthcare industry. I will probably be talking about how we need to change this healthcare industry since I talked about it in this video, so we can get to that. I thank you guys. Remember, everything is not for you and you aren't for everything, which is why a lot of people are finding out and making different choices for their life. Thank you guys. Love you.